When was the last time you looked down at your ankles and noticed they seemed puffier than usual? Or maybe you felt that uncomfortable tightness in your feet by the end of the day, where your shoes feel snug even though they fit fine in the morning. If you're over 55, you're not imagining things, and you're definitely not alone. Swelling in the feet and ankles affects hundreds of thousands of older adults, and it's one of those problems that people assume they just have to live with. Here's what most people don't realize. That swelling, what doctors call edema, isn't just about aging. It's often a sign that your circulation needs some help. The good news? Research shows that specific, gentle movements can make a remarkable difference in reducing that puffiness and improving blood flow back to your heart. I'm not talking about intense workouts or expensive equipment. I'm talking about simple exercises you can do sitting in your favorite chair while you watch the morning news or have your afternoon coffee. Today, I'm going to walk you through 3 evidence-based movements that physical therapists and vascular specialists actually use in clinical settings to help manage swelling and improve circulation in older adults. These aren't random stretches I found on the internet. These techniques are backed by research published in medical journals and used in rehabilitation centers across the country. Stay with me until the end, because I'm also going to share the single biggest mistake people make that actually makes their swelling worse. And it's something almost everyone does without realizing it. Before we get started, I need to mention something important. If you have a history of blood clots, deep vein thrombosis, or significant heart problems, please check with your doctor before starting any new exercise routine, even gentle ones like these. If you experience sudden, severe swelling in just one leg, especially with redness, warmth, or pain, that needs immediate medical attention. That could be a sign of a blood clot. What I'm sharing today is for general education and mild to moderate swelling from circulation issues, not a replacement for medical care when something serious is going on. All right, let's talk about why swelling happens in the first place, because understanding the why helps you understand how these exercises actually work. Your veins have a challenging job. They need to move blood from your feet all the way back up to your heart, fighting against gravity every step of the way. When you're young, this system works efficiently because your blood vessels are flexible and your calf muscles act like powerful pumps, squeezing the veins and pushing blood upward. But as we get older, several things change. The veins can lose some of their elasticity, and the one-way valves inside them that prevent blood from flowing backward can become less efficient. Your calf muscles might not be as strong as they once were, especially if you've become less active. All of this means that blood and fluid can start pooling in your lower legs and feet. That pooling is what creates the swelling you see and feel. There's another system at play here too, and it's one most people have never heard of: your lymphatic system. Think of it as your body's drainage network. It picks up excess fluid from your tissues and carries it away to be filtered and recycled. When your joints don't move much, this lymphatic drainage can slow down, allowing fluid to accumulate in your ankles and feet. The exercises we're about to do target both your venous circulation and your lymphatic drainage, which is why they can be so effective. Let's start with the first movement. It's called the ankle flexor exercise, and it's the foundation of everything else we're going to do. I want you to think of your calf muscles as a second heart for your lower body. When those muscles contract, they squeeze the deep veins in your legs, helping to pump blood back toward your heart. This pumping action is absolutely critical for preventing fluid from pooling. Here's how to do it properly. Sit in a sturdy chair with your back supported. Make sure your feet can rest flat on the floor, or if your knees are stiff, you can prop them up on a low footstool. The key is to have your knees at about a 90-degree angle so you can move comfortably. Now slowly point your toes away from your body, as if you're reaching for something on the floor in front of you. Feel that stretch in the front of your shin and the top of your foot? Hold that pointed position for 2 full seconds. Count them out. 1, 2. Then, just as slowly and deliberately, pull your toes back up toward your body, lifting the front of your foot while your heel stays on the ground. You should feel your calf muscle tighten as you do this. That contraction is doing the work. Hold this flexed position for another 2 seconds. The slow, controlled pace is what makes this effective. If you rush through it, you're not giving those veins enough time to respond and move the blood along. Safety is important here. If you feel any sharp or shooting pain in your Achilles tendon, that thick cord at the back of your ankle, ease off immediately. This should feel like gentle work, not pain. The goal is a therapeutic squeeze, not strain. If you've had any issues with blood clots in the past, talk to your doctor before doing this or any of these exercises. Do this ankle flex and point movement continuously for 2 minutes. I know that might sound like a long time, but 2 minutes is what research suggests gives you meaningful benefit. You can set a timer on your phone if that helps. Focus on that calf muscle working when you pull your toes up. That's when the magic happens, when you're actively pushing fluid back up your leg. Many people report that after just a few days of doing this twice a day, their ankles feel less tight by evening. It's not dramatic overnight, but it's consistent, gradual improvement. Think of it like watering a plant. One day doesn't do much, but water it every day for a week and you'll see real change. Now let's move to the second exercise. This one might surprise you because it seems almost playful, but it's incredibly effective for stimulating lymphatic drainage. It's called ankle alphabet tracing. The reason this works is that your ankle joint has an amazing range of motion. It can flex, extend, rotate, and move in all sorts of directions. When you move it through all those varied positions, you're gently squeezing the soft tissues around your ankle from different angles. This squeezing action helps push lymphatic fluid through the drainage channels toward your lymph nodes, where it can be processed and eliminated. Think of lymphatic fluid like water in a sponge. If you squeeze a sponge the same way over and over, you only get water out from one spot. But if you squeeze it from different angles and directions, you wring out much more water. That's exactly what we're doing with the varied movements of the alphabet trace. Here's how it works. Stay seated in your chair with good back support. Lift just 1 foot slightly off the floor, maybe an inch or two, so your ankle can move freely. Now pretend your big toe is the tip of a pen, and you're going to use that imaginary pen to draw the letters of the alphabet in the air. Start with the letter A, and work your way all the way through to Z. Don't worry about making the letters perfect or neat. The goal isn't penmanship. The goal is to move your ankle through as many different positions as possible. When you draw a big letter O, your ankle rotates in a complete circle. When you draw the letter Z, you're creating diagonal movements. Each letter requires slightly different muscles and slightly different joint angles. That variety is what makes this so effective for lymphatic drainage. It's hitting fluid accumulation from every possible direction. A few safety reminders. If any particular letter, especially ones with sharp angles like X or W, causes discomfort or a pinching sensation, make that letter smaller or modify the shape until it feels okay. Never push into real pain. This should feel like gentle, therapeutic movement. Some mild muscle work is fine, but if you're grimacing or clenching your jaw, you're pushing too hard. Do the complete alphabet, A through Z, with 1 foot. This typically takes about a minute. Then switch to your other foot and repeat the full alphabet. That's 2 minutes total. Some people like to do this while they're on the phone or watching television. It's gentle enough that you can multitask, but focused enough that you'll feel it working. You might notice a warm sensation in your ankle or a slight tingling. That's increased blood flow. That's exactly what we want. Before we get to the third exercise, I want you to pause for a second and check in with your body. How do your feet and ankles feel right now? If you've been following along, you might already notice they feel slightly different. Maybe a bit warmer or lighter or less tight. These are all positive signs that circulation is improving and fluid is starting to move. Even if you don't notice anything yet, that's okay. The benefits build up over time with consistent practice. Now let's talk about what you eat and drink, because managing swelling isn't just about movement. What goes into your body matters too. Here's something that surprises almost everyone I talk to. One of the most important things you can do to reduce swelling is to drink more water, not less. I know that sounds counterintuitive. If you're already holding excess fluid, why would you want to drink more? It doesn't make logical sense until you understand how your body regulates fluid. When you're even mildly dehydrated, your body goes into conservation mode. It thinks there's a water shortage, so it holds on to every drop it can, including in your tissues. This causes swelling. When you're well hydrated, your kidneys can work efficiently to flush out excess sodium and waste products, and your body's fluid balance system can function normally. The result? Less fluid retention, not more. How do you know if you're hydrated enough? The easiest way is to check the color of your urine. It should be pale yellow, almost clear. If it's dark amber or has a strong smell, you need more water. Aim to sip water consistently throughout the day, rather than chugging large amounts all at once. Your body absorbs it better that way. If you're concerned about frequent bathroom trips, try drinking most of your water earlier in the day and tapering off in the evening. The second nutritional strategy involves two important minerals, potassium and magnesium. These minerals work in partnership with sodium to regulate how much fluid your cells hold. Too much sodium without enough potassium and magnesium creates an imbalance that favors fluid retention. Think of sodium as a magnet that attracts and holds water. Potassium and magnesium help release that grip. You don't need supplements for this, though you can discuss that option with your doctor if you'd like. Many common foods are naturally rich in these minerals. Bananas are famous for potassium, but so are white beans, sweet potatoes, spinach when it's cooked, and avocados. For magnesium, look to dark leafy greens like kale and Swiss chard, nuts and seeds, especially almonds and pumpkin seeds, and even a small piece of high-quality dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or higher. Try adding just one serving of a potassium-rich food and one serving of a magnesium-rich food to your daily meals. You might be surprised how much difference this simple change makes over a couple of weeks. It's not magic, it's biochemistry. You're giving your body the tools it needs to regulate fluid properly at the cellular level. Now I want to share something critical that almost no one talks about, but it might be the single most important factor in whether your swelling improves or stays the same. It's what I call the movement trap. Here's the trap. When your feet and ankles are swollen and uncomfortable, your natural instinct is to sit down and rest them. That makes perfect sense, right? Give them a break, take the pressure off. The problem is that when you sit completely still for long periods, you shut down the very mechanisms that could help reduce the swelling. Prolonged sitting or standing without movement is one of the worst things for circulation in your lower legs. When you're motionless, the calf muscle pump stops working. Those one-way valves in your veins become ineffective. Gravity wins, and blood, along with fluid, pools in the lowest parts of your body, which are your feet and ankles. Even if you elevate your legs while sitting, if you're completely still, you're missing the benefit of muscle contraction that actively pumps fluid back up. Here's the solution, and it's simpler than you might think. The 45-minute rule. Every 30 to 45 minutes throughout the day, you need to break the stillness. Stand up and take 10 deliberate steps. March in place for 30 seconds. Or better yet, do one quick 30-second set of those ankle flex and point exercises we learned earlier, right there at your desk or chair. Just 30 seconds of movement is enough to restart that muscle pump and prevent massive fluid buildup. This is what I mean by working smarter, not harder. You're not doing an hour at the gym. You're doing 30 seconds every 45 minutes. That's less than 1% of your waking hours, but the impact on your circulation and swelling is enormous. If you work at a desk or spend a lot of time watching television, set a timer on your phone as a reminder. After a while, it becomes automatic, and you won't need the reminder anymore. All right, we're ready for the third and final exercise, and this is the one that often provides the fastest, most noticeable relief. It's called the seated calf raise, and it activates your calf muscle pump with maximum intensity while still being safe and chair-friendly. This movement creates the strongest compression of the deep veins in your lower legs, which results in a powerful flush of pooled fluid back toward your heart. There are two ways to do this, depending on your balance and comfort level. Let's start with a seated version, since that's safest for most people. Sit in your sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Place your hands gently on your thighs for a little bit of resistance, but don't press down so hard that it causes discomfort. Now, keeping the balls of your feet on the floor, lift your heels as high as you can. Really try to get up on your tiptoes. You should feel your calf muscles working hard. Hold that raised position for 3 full seconds. Count them. 1, 2, 3. Then lower your heels back down slowly and with control until they lightly touch the floor. That slow lowering is just as important as the lifting. It keeps the muscle engaged throughout the entire movement. Repeat this lift and lower cycle continuously for 2 minutes. Yes, your calves will probably feel the burn. That's okay. That's your muscles doing their job. But if you feel any sharp pain, ease off on how high you're lifting or how much resistance you're using with your hands. If you have good balance and feel confident, you can also do this exercise standing. Stand facing a kitchen counter or a heavy, stable chair that's pushed firmly against a wall. Hold on to your support with both hands. Your feet should be about shoulder-width apart for stability. Slowly lift both heels off the ground, rising up onto the balls of your feet as high as you comfortably can. Hold for 3 seconds at the top, then lower slowly and with control. If you feel any wobbliness at all, widen your stance or increase your grip on the support. Never let go while you're up on your toes. Whether you choose seated or standing, the key is those 3-second holds at the peak contraction and the slow, controlled lowering. 2 minutes of this exercise might sound short, but your calves will be working hard. This concentrated effort is why this movement often provides the fastest relief from swelling. People frequently tell me they can actually see and feel a difference in their ankles within a day or two of adding this exercise to their routine. Let's quickly address something that comes up often: compression socks. Many doctors recommend them, and they can be helpful, especially if you're going to be sitting for a long time, like on a plane or a long car ride. Compression socks provide external pressure that helps prevent fluid from pooling. But here's what's important to understand. Compression socks are a support tool. They're like a brace. They help manage the symptom, but they don't fix the underlying problem, which is that your muscle pump isn't working efficiently. The exercises we've done today address the root cause by strengthening and activating that natural pumping mechanism. Think of compression socks as a helpful addition, not a replacement for movement. Elevating your legs is another common recommendation. And yes, it can help temporarily. When you lie down and prop your feet up so your ankles are above the level of your heart, gravity assists with draining fluid back toward your core. This can provide relief, especially at the end of a long day. Try elevating for 15 to 20 minutes. The catch is that once you stand up again, if your muscle pump isn't functioning well, the fluid will pool right back down. That's why elevation works best when combined with these exercises, not used instead of them. Let me give you a simple daily plan that brings all of this together. Think of it as your circulation support routine. When you first wake up in the morning, before you even get out of bed, do 1 set of ankle flexes. Just a minute of pointing and flexing while you're still lying down. This gets your circulation moving before you stand up and gravity takes over. Then, with your morning coffee or breakfast, do your full 2-minute ankle flex and point exercise while seated. Mid-morning, do the alphabet trace with both feet, 2 minutes total. Remember the 45-minute rule throughout your day. Every 30 to 45 minutes, get up and move for at least 30 seconds. Before lunch or in the early afternoon, do your 2 minutes of seated calf raises. In the evening, maybe while you're watching television, do another round of ankle flexes and alphabet traces. Before bed, elevate your legs for 15 to 20 minutes while you read or relax. Make sure you're drinking water consistently throughout the day and including those potassium and magnesium-rich foods in your meals. Does this sound like a lot? Let's add it up. The actual exercise time is about 10 minutes total spread throughout your day. 10 minutes out of a 16-hour waking day. That's less than 1% of your time. The 45-minute movement breaks are 30 seconds each, and you're probably standing up anyway throughout the day to go to the bathroom or get a snack. We're just making those movements more intentional. Here's what you can realistically expect if you stick with this routine. In the first few days, you might notice that your feet feel slightly less tight by evening, or that the indentations from your socks don't last as long. Within 1 to 2 weeks, many people see visible reduction in ankle swelling. By 3 to 4 weeks, if you're consistent, the improvement can be quite significant. Your shoes might fit better, your balance might improve because your feet are making better contact with the ground, and you might have more energy because better circulation means better oxygen delivery to all your tissues. Now, let's be realistic. These exercises aren't a cure-all. If your swelling is caused by a serious underlying condition like heart failure, kidney disease, or severe venous insufficiency, these exercises are helpful as part of your overall management, but they're not a replacement for medical treatment. You still need to work with your doctor on the bigger picture. If you're taking medications that cause fluid retention as a side effect, these exercises can help manage the symptom, but you'll need to talk to your doctor about whether the medication can be adjusted. Also, chronic swelling that's been going on for months or years didn't develop overnight, and it's not going to disappear overnight either. Be patient with yourself and your body. Consistency over time is what creates lasting change. Doing these exercises every day for 2 weeks will give you far better results than doing them intensely for 2 days and then stopping. Here's something else to keep in mind. These movements also benefit your brain. Better circulation in your legs means better circulation overall, including to your brain. Research has shown that impaired calf muscle pump function is actually associated with overall health and longevity in older adults. When your circulation is working well, you're supporting your entire cardiovascular system, not just reducing ankle puffiness. A few final safety notes before we wrap up. If you ever experience sudden, severe swelling in just one leg, especially with warmth, redness, or pain, get medical attention immediately. That pattern can indicate a blood clot. If you have wounds on your feet or legs that heal very slowly, or if the skin on your legs looks shiny, tight, or discolored, mention this to your doctor. These can be signs of more serious circulation problems that need professional evaluation. If you feel lightheaded or short of breath when doing these exercises, stop and rest. They should feel like gentle work, not strain. Let me leave you with this. Your body is remarkably resilient and responsive, even in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. The changes that come with aging are real, but they're not inevitable in the sense that you're powerless against them. Small, consistent actions compound over time into meaningful improvements in how you feel and function. Swollen feet and ankles don't have to be something you just accept as part of getting older. The 3 exercises we covered today: ankle flexes for 2 minutes, alphabet tracing for 2 minutes, and seated calf raises for 2 minutes, along with smart hydration, mineral-rich foods, and the 45-minute movement rule. These are tools you can use starting right now. No special equipment, no gym membership, just 10 minutes of your day and a little bit of attention to movement throughout your day. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one of these exercises and commit to doing it twice today. Just one. Don't try to do everything perfectly right away. Start small, build the habit, and then add more as it becomes comfortable. Maybe tomorrow you add the second exercise. By the end of the week, you're doing all 3. In 2 weeks, check back in with yourself. Look at your ankles. How do they feel? How do they look? I'm willing to bet you'll notice positive changes. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you struggle with swollen feet or ankles? Have you tried any of these exercises before? Drop a comment below and tell me your age and where you're watching from. I read every comment, and your experiences help other people in our community know they're not alone. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It tells YouTube to share this with other people who might benefit from learning about these circulation-supporting exercises. Share this video with someone you know who deals with foot or ankle swelling. Maybe it's your spouse, a friend, or a sibling. These simple techniques can make a real difference, and the more people who know about them, the better. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I create videos specifically for people over 50 who want practical, evidence-based strategies for staying healthy and active. No gimmicks, no miracle cures, just solid information you can actually use. Coming up in my next video, I'll be covering the 5 foods that research suggests are worst for circulation and swelling, and what to eat instead. You might be surprised by what's on that list. Some of them are foods that people think are healthy, but actually contribute to inflammation and fluid retention. You won't want to miss that one. Until then, remember that your health is worth 10 minutes a day. Start with those ankle flexes right now, even while you're still sitting here. 2 minutes. You can do this. Here's to healthier circulation, less swelling, and feet that feel good at the end of the day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.